Hello and welcome back to this Healthenthusiasm monologue. This time I'll be addressing one particular question I've received. Who owns the patient?
Welcome to the Healthenthusiasm monologue by Christophe Joquet, a spoken column about making customers healthy and happy.
So you might already know that in these past 6 months or so, I've been taking calls from people. It's ever since the lockdown, actually, that I allow people to get in contact with me, ask their questions, talk about all things related to health enthusiasm. And so in these past months, I've really enjoyed this a lot. I mean, I talked to yogi from the south of Italy. I talked to dentists from Germany, actually. I talked to personal coaches from California, many brand managers, whether it is from pharmaceuticals, from indulgence brands, coffee brands, all sorts of. It's really been interesting. But I think about 2 weeks ago or so, I had this question about a first-line practitioner, first-line physician. And he was puzzling since a while with this one particular question. And that question was, who owns the patient? Now, I have to say, this person, he was really innovative, forward thinking. He loved technology and what it could fulfill in healthcare. And so he's really following up with all these startups and all these companies that are taking initiatives that are using AI for diagnosis, information, recommendation, all these kinds of things. And so he was wondering, and he called in to me, and he was like, with all this AI and all this decision making that is coming towards us, who will actually then own the patient? And I'm not quite sure how this feels to you, this question, but to me, it actually feels oddly wrong. And that's what I replied to him. I said, in a sense, I understand where this is coming from, but nobody really should own the patient. I know, healthcare has always been, in a way, paternalistic, if you will. There is this decision responsibility, the liability that comes along with it. I do get it. But nobody really should own the patient. Because if at some point all these initiatives, these startups, these AI tools will indeed become popular, the reason for that is simply because patients actually want to own their own health. And so think about it. If they will rely that much on AI at some point, as much perhaps as the opinion of physicians, then maybe we should involve them in that decision making. Maybe it's because patients want to have an impact. Maybe it's because they want to own their own health. And yes, I know what you're saying. Not everybody will do that. And, you are right. It's already here today. If you look at a first-line practitioner, for example, there are patients who come in who don't ask any questions, who just want to have a medical solution, and they're out within 7 minutes and they're happy. Now, there's a whole bunch of other patients who come in with tons of questions, who don't really want to rely immediately on a medical solution, but maybe they want to think about how they can change their food habits, their exercising, their sleep, their stress management, whatsoever. And so they might even look into alternative treatments. They will go for a second opinion or even talk to other specialists. But those kind of patients, they will certainly be the first ones to rely on all those new tools that help in decision making or in diagnosis. And this will happen. It's already stretched today in the first-line physician practice, but I am pretty sure that it will only become stronger. So that stretch will become stronger. And so if we think about the future in healthcare, and that's my main point here, if we really think about the future in healthcare, we need to stop thinking in terms of who owns the patient. Because to me, that is inherently wrong. More and more, patients have this kind of health enthusiasm, as I call it, to take their own decisions, to use the tools that are at their own disposal. And so they really put themselves at the center of their own health. And I know patient centricity has been around for a long time now, but we really should be applying it and stop thinking in terms of who owns the patients. I hope this gives you a little bit of an answer. If you do want to talk about this, because I know it's a very vivid and actual discussion that people want to have, feel free to call me, reach out to me, and let's have a discussion. I'm looking forward. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this Health Enthusiast monologue. Ciao.